set the opacity to about 50%, and then we're going to erase the parts we want to keep in focus. Whenever I go to restaurants, they always complain that I don't give them any tips. But there's like 5 tips in this video alone. Unbelievable. So the first tip is adding a rim light. Now, a rim light won't work on every piece, especially if the background is already very bright. But here, the background is pretty dark, so it works. So I'm just gonna grab a color that's pretty close to pure white, and then just follow the edges. Rim lights are very easy to do with compared to how much they can add to a piece. So the second tip is to play with curves. Now we don't want to end up deep frying our art, so we're not going to do anything too drastic. But I ended up brightening the piece a bit, and I also really liked the look of adding a bit of blue.
Feeling blue.
At the end of this video, I'm going to see if I can take one of my old ugly ass art pieces and make it look halfway decent only using these tips. Next tip is adding a bit of noise, which can help making the piece look less digital. So I have a brush that essentially just adds like a grain texture. So I'm going to brush that over the whole thing, set that layer to overlay and reduce the opacity. So the next tip works best if you have really bright light on the character. Luckily we added that rim light earlier. So I'm going to get an airbrush and just add a bit of glow around that rim light. While we're adding glow, we can add a bit of color dodge. This piece wasn't really suited for it, so I didn't do that much. But yeah, don't overdo it. So for the last tip, we're going to create a lens blur layer. Set the opacity to about 50%, and then we're going to erase the parts we want to keep in focus. So let's see if I can use these tips to make an old art piece look good. Let's go hunting for some old art. Let's see here. This one? No. This one? Wait, no, I know the one. We have to go back even further. Not here. It's that one. There it is. This one will work. I still have the layers here, which makes playing with curves a lot easier. How old is this piece anyway? Wait, I can just check. Let's see here. 2021, August, the 2nd of August, 2021. That is a long. So for the rim light, I'm actually going to go for a much softer light from the sky. And totally pushing the definition. Is this even still a rim light? I don't even know, but let's say it is. This is actually pretty fun to do. I mean, I kind of have to stop myself from doing like a full-on overpaint, but it's kind of fun to see how much you can do without actually doing that much. So here's how it looked like before, and here's after. I had a lot of fun making this. I hope you had fun watching it, and I hope you find these tips helpful. Stay gerbing. Keep gerbing.